Right, so I have always been attracted to women and never to men. My parents have always been supportive, and so I really should have had a very easy time with it. The problem though was that I was a teenage girl who didn't fit in, and I desperately wanted to. I was never bullied at school, but I saw what happened to those who were bullied and was very careful to avoid it. I was also never girly. I loved football and rugby and riding horses, and I always felt out of step. So I decided that pretending to fancy some bloke in McFly, or a boy that I was never going to have to talk to, seemed a fair price to pay to fit in. Slowly though, I convinced myself that that was real, and my attraction to women was just admiration, or a phase that I might one day grow out of. As we grew up, everyone coupled up, and my friends started to ask why I wasn't interested. A man asked me out for a drink, and it just seemed easier to say yes. That started a series of relationships that were unhappy at best, and emotionally, physically, and sexually abusive at worst. Through all of them, I kept trying, because I thought that there was something wrong with me. By 21, I was so depressed I couldn't get out of bed, and it took me 3 years to recover. But recover I did, and I realised that life wasn't supposed to be that hard. No more men. Problem was, I didn't know any lesbians. I had short relationships with straight women, who always went back to men eventually. So my straight and gay male friends were getting into online dating. I tried, but there was a distinct lack of female homosexuals in women seeking women. I concentrated on my career and my friends and slowly started to feel more confident. And then in July 2018, I was on holiday with some friends, and one of them came to tell me that, quote, lesbians were being transphobic at London Pride. I went on the internet to find out what the hell was going on, and afterwards was very confused as to why my gay male friends were so disgusted. I explained that of course lesbians are same-sex attracted women. In the argument that followed, I was called a TERF and a bigot for stating that I am in fact a female homosexual. This time, instead of looking for fair or easy, I was absolutely furious. As a teenager, I was trapped into heterosexuality, and I'm damned if I'll be coerced to accepting penises again in my 20s. I came home from that holiday determined to find other lesbians, and I did. As a bonus, I found proper feminists and proper friends. When I thought about it afterwards, that conversation was a crystallisation of what I'd experienced in LGBT groups. Men were more important, and even asking inconvenient questions was shut down. As a young lesbian stuck in the alphabet soup, I felt isolated. I had no community, no understanding of who I was, and no role models, and it took me until I was 28 to find them. Many of the challenges young lesbians face are ultimately rooted in being female, or more specifically, being female without conforming to patriarchal expectations. This is part of our unique experience as lesbians, and so is ignored within the LGBT community. We need to form our own networks and groups where young lesbians can be supported without having to appease males. Groups where lesbian identity can be celebrated and where we're free to define ourselves and to set our own boundaries. Having been part of the organising committee for today, I can tell you it really should not be this hard for a group of women to meet. Despite our supposed protection under the Equality Act, being overtly pro-lesbian now attracts threats and protests. We need to reclaim the lesbian and women-only spaces that have been lost. To insist on the rights that we have to do this. All lesbians benefit from these spaces, but they are particularly important for those who are new to being a lesbian. I want to finish by saying how important lesbian visibility is to young women. We share a rich culture and history, including the role models that I so badly needed but didn't find as a teenager. I just needed to find my tribe. The Get the Hell Out action at London Pride woke me up. And it gave me the long overdue courage to stand up for myself. Telling the truth is scary at first, but lying or equivocating will slowly drain you. We need to be brave, and we need to be proud. Thank you.